Do you ever feel like you're caught in a spiral of thoughts, worries, or stresses that just can't seem to give you a break? That every day is a battle against something you can't see, but can clearly feel? That feeling of being out of control, of not being able to handle what you feel or think, is something many men face on a daily basis. Yet few talk about it. Anxiety in men is a silent enemy that operates in the shadows, masquerading behind socially accepted behaviors or misinterpreted as simple stress or irritability. But its impact goes far beyond that. Anxiety not only affects your mental health, but also your relationships, your physical well-being, and even your perception of yourself. This video is not just to talk about anxiety. It's to help you understand it, unravel it, and most importantly, start on the path to overcoming it and regaining control of your life. Anxiety, while it may seem a universal experience, tends to manifest itself differently in men and women. For many men, anxiety is not expressed with tears, crying, or overt fear, but with a facade of normalcy that deep down hides a constant struggle. It is important to understand how this anxiety can be disguised and the effects it has on daily life. Perhaps you notice that you get angry easily over things that didn't bother you before. Maybe you've developed an obsession with work, always looking for more responsibilities as a way to distract yourself from how you really feel. Or maybe you've begun to isolate yourself from your friends, avoiding social interactions because they seem too draining. These are signs that your mind is trying to deal with something bigger, but silently. The problem begins with the expectations that are imposed on men from a young age. From childhood, we are taught that we must be strong, invulnerable, that our emotions must be kept under control, that asking for help is a sign of weakness. These ideas, repeated over and over again, become part of our identity. And while they may seem harmless or even helpful, they actually deprive us of essential tools for dealing with life's emotional challenges. Because here's the truth: no matter how hard you try to ignore or repress your emotions, they will eventually find a way to manifest themselves. Anxiety is one of those manifestations. It is the result of years of pressure, of accumulated stress, of unprocessed emotions that finally find an outlet. Anxiety in men also tends to be misunderstood by both those who experience it and those around them. If you are a man who struggles with anxiety, you may not even recognize it as such yourself. Maybe you tell yourself that you're just stressed out about work, or that you need more sleep to feel better. But anxiety goes beyond everyday stress. It's a nagging sense of unease, of worry, that something is wrong even when everything seems to be in order. It's an internal struggle that can drain your energy, your self-esteem, and your well-being. And what's worse, if you don't deal with it, it can grow into something much more difficult to handle. So how do you overcome anxiety? First of all, it's important to recognize that you're not alone. Millions of men around the world face this same struggle, though many do so in silence. Knowing that you're not the only one can be a relief, because it breaks down the isolation that anxiety often creates. In addition, it is critical to understand that anxiety is not a reflection of weakness or a personal failing. It is simply a response of your mind and body to the challenges you have faced. And like any response, it can be managed, adjusted, and overcome with the right tools. One of the first things you can do to deal with anxiety is to identify what triggers it. This can be a challenging, but also liberating process. Perhaps your anxiety is heightened in specific situations, such as social gatherings, work deadlines, or even when facing financial problems. Reflecting on these triggers allows you to better understand how your anxiety works and develop strategies to manage it. It's like knowing your enemy before you face it. The more you know about what triggers your anxiety, the better prepared you will be to combat it. Once you understand your triggers, it's time to explore tools that can help you manage them. One of the most effective techniques is mindful breathing. This practice may seem simple, but it has a powerful impact on your mental and physical state. When you feel anxiety creeping up on you, close your eyes and take a deep breath. Inhale slowly for a count of 4. Hold your breath for another 4 seconds, and then exhale in a controlled manner for another count of 4. Repeat this process several times. What you are doing here is not just breathing. You are sending signals to your nervous system to calm down, to know that there is no real threat, to relax. Physical exercise is another invaluable tool for managing anxiety. You don't need to be an athlete to benefit from this. Something as simple as going for a walk, lifting light weights, or practicing yoga can make a big difference in how you feel. Exercise not only helps release pent-up tension in your body, but it also releases endorphins, which are the happy chemicals your brain naturally produces. In addition, exercise allows you to disconnect from your thoughts and focus on something tangible, something that is under your control. Another technique that can be useful is writing. Yes, write. When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts, grab a pen and paper, or open a notes app on your phone and write down what you're feeling. It doesn't matter how it comes out, or if it makes sense. This act of putting your thoughts into words can help you organize them, understand them, and ultimately free yourself from them. Writing is like having a conversation with yourself, but without fear of judgment. Anxiety often makes us feel like we have to handle everything alone, but this is not the solution. Talking to someone you trust, whether it's a friend, family member, or therapist, can be transformative. Human connection has incredible power to heal because it reminds us that we are not alone, that our struggles are shared, and that support is always available if we seek it. No matter how long you have been struggling in silence, it is never too late to open up and share what you are facing. It is also important to remember that overcoming anxiety is a process, not an instantaneous event. There will be good days and bad days, times when you feel in control and times when you feel like you're regressing. But that doesn't mean you're not moving forward. Each small step you take towards managing your anxiety is an accomplishment in itself. Allow yourself to take pride in those strides, no matter how small they may seem. The key is to be consistent, to keep going even when it's hard, to remember that every effort counts. Anxiety in men is an issue that needs more attention, more understanding, more compassion. It's time to break the stigma surrounding men's mental health and build a space where we can talk about our struggles without fear of judgment. If this message resonated with you, if you think someone else needs to hear this, I invite you to share this video. You never know who might be facing a silent battle and needing this information. Leave a comment with your thoughts, your experiences, or your questions. This is a safe space, a place to connect, learn, and grow together. Always remember that your anxiety does not define you. It is not a judgment or a flaw. It is simply a sign that something in your life needs attention. And with the right tools, support, and commitment, you can learn to manage it, overcome it, and regain control of your life. Your well-being matters, and there is always hope to transform your reality.